doing.
Exactly. That's
And
what I said.
And I knew I was right. Every time I feel that intuition of I'm right.
How do we not see that?
That's what I'm saying. What have I done to you for you to do me like this?
Because it sure isn't because you're not attractive.
That damn bike out the way.
Do you need to move it?
The atmosphere in Rasheeda's living room was electric with tension as years of accumulated pain, betrayal, and disappointment finally reached their breaking point. Standing there with her arms crossed, heart thundering against her ribcage, Rasheeda faced Kirk Frost, the man who had once been her everything but now appeared more like a stranger wearing familiar skin. The weight of countless betrayals hung heavy in the air between them, making each breath feel like a battle. Enough is enough, Kirk. I'm done with the lies and the games. Rasheeda's voice carried a steely resolve that even surprised her. The words reverberated through the room with an intensity that could ignite the very air around them. Kirk, clearly caught off guard by this new, unshakable version of his wife, shifted his weight uncomfortably, desperately trying to maintain his usual composed facade. "Babe, let's talk about this," he pleaded, his voice wavering with uncertainty. The familiar gesture of running his hands through his hair, a move that had melted her resolve countless times before, felt hollow and manipulative now. Rasheeda stood firm, years of patience worn threadbare by his endless cycle of betrayal and hollow promises. "You think you can just waltz back in here after everything? After all the times you've disrespected me?" Each syllable carried the weight of years of hurt, each word dripping with the venom of accumulated betrayals. The intensity in her eyes spoke volumes about the pain she'd endured silently for far too long. Kirk, desperately clinging to his last thread of influence over her, attempted to play his strongest card, their shared history and family ties. "We have a family, Rasheeda. You can't just throw that away," he implored, but his emotional manipulation tactics fell flat against her newfound strength. "Family." The word tasted bitter on her tongue. "You think a family thrives on deceit?" Her voice rose with each word, carrying years of suppressed anger. "I've been more than patient. I've given you chance after chance, and what have you done? You've taken my trust and stomped on it." The fire in her eyes burned with an intensity that made Kirk, for the first time, look small and vulnerable. Desperation crept into his voice as he sensed his control slipping away. "I can change. Just give me another shot," he begged. But Rasheeda was no longer the woman who would easily forgive and forget. She had fought too hard for her self-worth to let him drag her back into their toxic cycle. "Change? You've promised that before," she replied, her heart racing with the liberation of finally speaking her truth. "I've held on to empty promises for far too long." The weight of their tumultuous relationship had become a burden she was finally ready to shed, and the feeling of empowerment coursed through her veins like electricity.
What you mean? What's up?
What do you mean what I mean? How the you get around Mama D? What the y'all need
That's
that?
none of your business.
You know her reputation with young
I
women,
don't know,
she
and
was
I
known to be a
don't
madam,
care.
okay? So I'm just
I
asking
don't
what's
care.
the relationship?
Kirk's frustration exploded in a burst of anger, his composure finally cracking. "You'll regret this. You're making a huge mistake," he shouted, his voice rising to match the intensity of the moment. But Rasheeda's response was unexpected. A smirk played at the corners of her mouth, a silent declaration of her newfound freedom. "Regret? I doubt it. I'm finally free," she declared, each word carrying the weight of her liberation. The rush of adrenaline coursing through her body made her feel invincible, like a warrior finally breaking free from her chains. She stepped toward the door, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. "Fine, you want to kick me out? I'll show you what you'll be missing." Kirk spat the words like venom, frantically gathering his belongings in a display of wounded pride. The sight of him scrambling only reinforced Rasheeda's resolve. This man, this shadow of the partner she'd once loved, had no power over her anymore. As he shoved clothes into a duffel bag, the reality of their situation descended upon them both. The love they had once shared felt like a distant memory, overshadowed by years of betrayal and lies that had become their daily reality. Rasheeda could physically feel the weight lifting from her shoulders, making space for hope and new beginnings. "Go ahead and leave, Kirk. I I deserve better than this, she declared, her voice steady as she gestured toward the door. I'm reclaiming my space, my life, and I'm not looking back. The slam of the door echoed through the house like a punctuation mark on their relationship, leaving Rasheeda standing in the silence, her heart racing not with fear, but with excitement. She took a deep breath, feeling a newfound sense of empowerment coursing through her veins. The echoes of their tumultuous relationship began to fade, replaced by the exhilarating promise of freedom and self-discovery. Outside, Kirk paced, feeling the weight of his choices bearing down on him. He'd lost more than just a roof over his head. He'd lost the woman who had once stood by him through everything. The stakes had changed, and he knew he couldn't just charm his way back this time. Rasheeda had become a force to be reckoned with, and he was about to learn that the hard way.
He called me, but I didn't answer the phone because I said, you know what, man, the up. You want to talk to me? Come and talk to me face to face. Don't call.
The audacity of Kirk's attempts to manipulate the situation reached new heights as he tried to convince Rasheeda that everything was just a prank, knowing full well that Carly would reveal the truth about his deceptions.
But you haven't signed anything and he hasn't signed anything yet.
No.
Is that because are you guys still trying to work it out, or does it just make more sense for you guys to just be separated right now?
Well, the thing is, we've sat and had a conversation about trying to maybe not do it through attorneys and see if we can come to some type of agreement, you know, that way. And at the same time, I also feel like, and it's not even the point of just trying to work it out, but I'm also like, I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, you know, I pretty much kind of got the information, and am I ready to serve him with these papers? You know, this is the first time something like this has happened in our marriage, and I'm feeling like, okay, you know, is the answer immediately, although it's all this crazy stuff that's happened, is the answer immediately divorce, you know, step into this place, or is it let's try to figure out if we're gonna just separate and try to work out percentages, things like to that nature. So that's kind of where it is right now. Just maybe considering not having to do an actual divorce, but just at this moment, but just figuring out what we want to do and see if we want to go ahead and take it to the divorce line later, or you know, that may not be the case. As of right now, who's to say? My main concern ain't even just the fact of filing the divorce. It's just about trying to, you know, stay focused, not overstress myself, and get ready for this baby, whether he's a part of the situation or not.
The drama intensified when Carly exposed the full extent of Kirk and Jasmine's relationship, bringing receipts that left no room for denial. The text messages between Kirk and Jasmine painted a picture of betrayal so clear that it left everyone stunned. Yet there, Kirk stood, attempting to deny every word, while Rasheeda held the evidence in her trembling hands. The news of Rasheeda filing for divorce after 25 years of marriage sent shockwaves through their social circle, though many saw it coming. Their relationship had weathered numerous storms, but Kirk's persistent infidelity, including fathering a child outside their marriage, had become too heavy a burden to bear. Despite years of standing by him through public scrutiny and endless drama, Rasheeda had finally reached her breaking point. Their journey through love and hip-hop Atlanta had documented the slow unraveling of their relationship. What started as a story of a supportive husband managing his wife's career quickly descended into a saga of betrayal and deceit. Season 2 marked a particularly dark chapter when Kirk's behavior turned antagonistic, accusing Rasheeda of infidelity when she announced her pregnancy, a moment that would forever change the dynamic of their relationship. The drama escalated when Kirk was caught on camera with 2 women, followed by his shocking suggestion that Rasheeda should consider abortion. Though they managed to patch things up in Season 3, Kirk's destructive behavior continued unabated. His decision to hire a bar waitress as their babysitter and his manipulation of situations to create conflict between Rasheeda and his artist Ashley Nicole in Season 4 only added to the growing list of betrayals. The relationship hit rock bottom during Season 6 when the truth about Kirk fathering a child with Jasmine, a stripper, came to light. This scandal led to a brief separation in Season 7, only for them to reconcile following the sudden death of Kirk's mother. Yet even this moment of tragedy couldn't permanently heal the deep wounds in their relationship. The confrontations with Rasheeda's mother, Charlene, became legendary, particularly the incident where she ran over Kirk's motorcycle in a display of maternal fury. These dramatic clashes only highlighted the depth of pain Kirk's actions had caused not just to Rasheeda, but to her entire family. As their 24th wedding anniversary approaches, the rumors of divorce signal more than just the end of a marriage. They represent Rasheeda's final step toward reclaiming her life and dignity. The public nature of their relationship's deterioration has made every betrayal, every lie, and every reconciliation a matter of public record, forcing Rasheeda to grapple with her personal pain in the spotlight. Their marriage has undoubtedly been one of the most scandalous and dramatic relationships in the love and hip-hop franchise. From Kirk's public infidelities to his denials of paternity, from emotional manipulation to outright lies, their story has been a cautionary tale about the destructive power of betrayal and the importance of self-worth. If the divorce rumors prove true, it would mark the end of one of the longest-running and most tumultuous relationships in reality television history. For Rasheeda, it represents more than just the end of a marriage. It's a declaration of self-love and a commitment to her own happiness after years of putting others first. The evolution of their relationship from loving partnership to toxic battleground has been painful to witness, but Rasheeda's decision to finally break free has inspired many who find themselves in similar situations. Her journey from supportive wife to empowered individual stands as a testament to the strength required to break free from toxic relationships, no matter how long they've lasted. As this chapter of their lives comes to a close, the impact of their story continues to resonate with audiences who have witnessed their journey through the years. Rasheeda's transformation from a woman who repeatedly forgave betrayal to one who finally chose her own happiness serves as a powerful reminder that it's never too late to stand up for oneself and demand better. The drama between Kirk Frost and Rasheeda has indeed gotten wild, with Rasheeda taking decisive action by filing for child support after enduring years of lies and infidelity. Her characterization of Kirk as a serial cheater and master of deception speaks volumes about the depth of betrayal she's endured, leading to her painful decision to restrict their children's exposure to him. The reality of their situation extends far beyond the dramatic storylines of love and hip-hop, with real consequences for their family and future. As Rasheeda moves forward with her life, she does so with the strength and dignity of a woman who has finally recognized her worth, refusing to accept anything less than the respect and loyalty she deserves.